What if the world of Pokémon isn't a happy-go-lucky land of trainers and adventures, but actually a post-apocalyptic world recovering from a devastating war? A world where mutated creatures roam the earth and most adults are mysteriously absent. Buckle up, because this theory changes everything you thought you knew about Pokémon. On the surface, Pokémon is a colorful series about kids going on journeys with magical creatures. But dig a little deeper, and you'll start to notice cracks in the world building. Where are all the fathers? Why do children leave home at age 10? Why do Pokémon have powers that resemble nuclear weapons? Some fans believe the answer is chilling. The Pokémon world is recovering from a massive civilization-ending war. One of the first things you'll notice about the Pokémon universe is the lack of adult men. Most towns are populated by women, elderly people, and children. Ash's father, never mentioned. Brock's dad, a deadbeat who abandoned his 10 children. Other characters, widows, orphans, or single-parent homes. According to the theory, this is because most of the male population was killed in a massive global conflict, possibly a nuclear or technologically advanced war. The survivors had to rebuild society, one centered around harmony with Pokémon instead of violence. Think about it. Pokémon have the ability to shoot fire, manipulate time, control electricity, and even warp reality. That's not natural. These aren't just animals with powers, they're the results of radiation, mutation, and bioengineering. The existence of Pokémon like Muck, a literal sludge monster, coughing a floating gas bomb, and Voltorb, a self-destructing orb, supports this idea. They resemble byproducts of pollution and fallout. Even psychic types like Alakazam are said to have an IQ of over 5,000, hinting at unnatural evolution. Could Pokémon be mutated survivors of the apocalypse, altered by the very weapons that destroyed the old world? There's even canonical evidence of a great war. In Pokémon X and Y, we learn about an ancient king who built a weapon of mass destruction powered by the lives of Pokémon. This weapon was used in a massive war that decimated a once great civilization. Lieutenant Surge, the electric-type gym leader in the original Red-Blue games, straight up says, "Electric Pokémon saved me during the war." What war? It's never explained. But the implications are clear. This world has known military conflict on a terrifying scale. Some fans believe this war happened just before the events of the original games, explaining the strange, sparse society Ash lives in. Now let's talk about the tech. Kids carry advanced AI-powered computers, teleportation exists, and Pokémon can be stored as digital energy. The healthcare system is fully automated and free. It all feels a little too advanced for such small, underdeveloped towns. Technology from the old world survived the apocalypse, but only partially. Just enough to keep Pokémon centers running and Pokeballs functioning, while cities remain small and decentralized. Each region feels strangely disconnected from the others. You almost never see people from other regions until later generations. There's no global government, only regional leagues and local champions. This could be because the war fractured nations, making travel rare and rebuilding difficult. The isolation of regions like Sinnoh or Unova suggests that the world is still piecing itself back together after a global collapse. Even the wild areas full of ruins, strange forests, and abandoned buildings reinforce this post-war atmosphere. Finally, why are children the heroes of this world? Because the adults failed. They brought the world to ruin with war and violence. Now, it's up to the next generation to restore balance, not with weapons, but through bonds with Pokémon. That's why Pokémon battles are competitive, not lethal. Why the villains often want to return the world to the way it was before the war? And why every new game begins with a 10-year-old being handed the responsibility of saving the world? So, is the Pokémon world a cheerful land of adventure, or the ruins of a civilization wiped out by its own arrogance? The clues are everywhere if you know where to look. What do you think? Is this the cutest post-apocalypse ever created? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more mind-bending anime theories.